Hello, this is the Applying Management Paradigms how-to. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, and so we're all talking about the same thing. Okay, so a paradigm is just a set of ideas that kind of determines how we think about things. So there are three different paradigms that we're looking at when in chapter 3 when it comes to how early childhood or any center administrator behaves. And it's their set of ideas that really regulates this behavior. So when you look at number 1 on here, it tells you about a child development center that's having a terrible problem with staff turnover. 3 of its 12 full-time teachers have resigned within the past year, and that's really terrible. So for A, what steps might a director take whose thinking is shaped by the classical paradigm in order to solve the problem? What steps might a director take whose thinking is shaped by the behavioral paradigm in order to solve the problem? And the last one by the systems paradigm. These are well described in chapter 3 of your textbook. And I'd like you to explain how you would go about solving this issue based on each one of these paradigms, because your solution to the issue would be completely different for the 3. Okay. And then for number 2, I'd like you to consider a problem that's very common in early childhood centers, and that is having a biter. And poor little 2-year-old Hannah has bitten nearly every child in her group several times. Can you imagine? The parents in that classroom must be up in arms about little Hannah. But, obviously it's your policy not to reveal who's doing the biting and so on and so forth. However, I would imagine that most parents will probably figure out it's Hannah because some children are already talking and telling parents who did it. Okay. So you've got a problem. The lead teacher in Hannah's group's very upset. She's in tears. She's threatening to quit. Parents are angry about her and they're giving her a hard time. Okay. Parents are demanding that Hannah be expelled from that center, removed from everything. Okay. Well, okay, Hannah's parents right now are going through a difficult time. You don't want to add to the difficulties. What are you going to do? You're the manager. You're in charge. You have to come up with a solution that makes everybody happy, or try. Okay. So what core values, ideals, and principles are involved? The core values, ideas, and principles you will find in the NAEYC Code of Ethical Conduct. Just click right here. Well, this works a little better when it's not. I'm going to get rid of this. There we go. Okay, so here we have the Code of Ethical Conduct. Here are the core values. And when it comes to children, ethical responsibilities to children, what are the ideals? Ideals are really in a perfect world, and sometimes it's hard to reach ideals. So I'm a big proponent of the principles. Let's get down to business. What's really important here? So most important principle is that children are not injured. And it has ethical responsibilities to families and to coworkers and the community and society. And then you also, since you're an administrator, need to look at the ethical conduct of early childhood program administrators, because they have some conduct standards as well. What core values might come into play when you're making these decisions? So you can look here. Ideals and principles, ethical responsibilities to children, to families, to personnel. Governing bodies and agencies probably wouldn't come in on this one. And society as a whole, that probably won't come in on this one either. But you definitely have an ethical responsibility to the children, both the child that's biting, the children that are being bitten, the families, and to the personnel, because this is a really difficult situation. All right, I'm looking at something 2 to 3 pages in length, narrative format, and look forward to seeing your solutions. This could be really interesting. If you have any question at all, please let me know, and I'll be happy to meet with you on Zoom. Have a great day. Bye-bye.